Good morning. I'm Larry Ellis, and you're not. In honor today of Labor Day, this coming up holiday, we're going to talk about unions today and the lack thereof to happen all across our country. Losing jobs. All our inner cities are falling apart. If you think Flint's the only place that doesn't have clean drinking water, you're just not paying attention. Things are going to crap all across the country. If we continue to let people like Hillary Clinton steal elections, Debbie Schultz, then nothing's ever going to change for us. I said, well, it's going to change, but it's going to change for the worse. It's not going to get better. So why do people not seem to notice that as unions, as the number of people in the unions in this country dwindles down around 11%, I think, so do the middle-class jobs. We just let factories go. It all shuts down. We all go shop at Walmart. We all buy foreign products that they ship back. They're just doing it with chicken now. Now the chicken that we eat is going to be shipped to China. And now if they pass the TPP, those of you that like shrimp are going to have to be extra careful because a lot of the shrimp winds up growing in human feces over there. Now, right now we can stop it, but once TPP happens, they can fight us on it. We'll never know. But let's get back to the unions. The right has been pushing against unions for years and years and years. And as unions have, like I said before, dwindled in this country, we've lost decent paying jobs. Even the job, all the jobs are getting created under the Obama administration. Those weren't union jobs. Those weren't good jobs. They're service industry jobs. You can't raise a family like that. This is not the way the American dream is supposed to be. It's not screw everybody and reach for the top and have it all to yourself. This isn't monopoly. But how do we stop it? We tried to vote it out. We got robbed. So what's next on the plan? Well, if it's possible, we've got to get third-party candidates viability. I live in Oklahoma and can't vote for Joe Stein, so I'll be voting for the lesser of two evils. That's Donald Trump. Unless you compare Hillary Clinton to Satan, she's not the lesser of two evils. So I spent most of my previous career as a union steward, fought against the company. Now, people need to understand that without unions, our working conditions would suck. Without unions, your wages would be worse than they are right now. Have there been crooked people in the unions? Yes. There's crooked people everywhere. You fight it where you find it. They said Jimmy Hoffa was crooked, but Teamster wages tripled in his time. But we've lost the will to buy American. If America would just stop buying foreign products, insist that their products be made in the United States, those jobs would return. Why do we still go out and drink Nestle water? We can all see what they're doing. Nestle's getting water out of Lake Michigan, but kids in Flint got to drink out of the river. We're going to have to stand up and hit these people where it counts. That's in their pocketbooks. It's the only thing they're going to listen to. We tried it with the vote, and they stole it. And they laughed in our faces the whole way through, purging all those people in Bernie's hometown. What a slap in the face. And nobody did a damn thing. So now, all we're left with is commerce. How do we hit them where it counts? Well, maybe it's time to start shutting everything down. It's not hard to do. We just have to organize. I don't know what it takes to get people to realize, well, can you make somebody watch a video of children in Syria that have just been bombed, and you can roll it all back to Hillary Clinton? You know, or Palestinian children. It doesn't matter. Too busy. So what are we going to do? We'll do everything we can to get rid of a two-party system. Okay, that we can do that. That's not really that hard to do. You vote for Jill Stein. That's easy. But that's not enough. It's not even close to enough. They stole the vote from Bernie. You think they won't steal it from Jill Stein? Jill Stein probably has more support than Hillary right now. But the polls they show you, that's not what it's going to say. They got to rig the polls to match to what they're going to show the numbers when they rig the election. They've already done it and got away with it. We let them get away with it. So how do we stop it? How do we stop spending our taxpayer dollars bombing little kids in another country? Shooting drones where 90% of the time we don't know the identity of the target. What's it going to take to get people to stand up and say enough is enough? Maybe that's what Bernie was talking about all along. And we know Bernie's made a 180-degree turn. And let me remind you that I fully believe that Bernie Sanders has been threatened. It's the only reason he could turn around and defend or endorse, support Hillary Clinton. Remember Seth Rich. The motive, the means, and the opportunity to kill that young man. And immediately after his murder, Bernie endorsed Hillary. So anybody out there who's thinking that, yes, they love Bernie. Bernie's telling us to vote for Hillary. If you love Bernie so much, then maybe you should have really been paying attention. On April 25th, he told us all, if I ever endorse Hillary Clinton, don't listen to me. Make her earn your vote. Now, if you're voting for war, she's earned it. If you're voting for greed, she's earned it. If you're voting for step on people's back and get what you can, she's earned it, but she hasn't earned my vote. I don't see how she's earned any progressives' vote, let alone Democrats. So who's voting for Hillary? A bunch of machines are. That's what's going to wind up happening. She can't even hold a rally because she can't get 200 people to attend. No press conferences, no nothing. You know, I hear the big conspiracy about her health and not being mentally and physically competent, all that crap. You know, that's all just a game. None of that really matters. The only thing that really matters is election fraud. Stole the election, and they circumvented democracy in the process. How many soldiers throughout the course of American history have died for my right to vote? From the time we broke away from England until now, that's a lot of blood been shed for my right. For millions of young people in California to have that right purged, only to be given a provisional ballot and told their vote's not really going to count. She's spitting on the graves of everyone who died. It sickens me. And I was going to vote for this woman until Bernie Sanders came along with our eyes. But he told us Nothing's going to change until millions of people stand up and say enough is enough. Maybe he wasn't talking about our vote. He's had to have known since at least New York and Arizona that the whole thing was rigged. You're not going to see anything in the media about it. They won't report it. Even most alternative media sources don't report it. We won't talk about Seth Rich and Sean Lucas. Sean Lucas, the young man that served the lawsuit to Debbie Schwartz, who turned up mysteriously dead just at the beginning of August. They want it all swept under the rug. Give us the next glamorous event or a terrorist attack somewhere while we create more terrorists by bombing families. And where do you think Saudi Arabia got all the weapons that they're using to attack Yemen? They bought them from Hillary Clinton's State Department. Did it happen to coincide with donations to the Clinton Foundation? Yes. Did they fail to report those same donations? Yes. Boggles my mind. Anybody can want to vote for this woman. I'm not sure, like I said before, what it's going to take to convince people, but I know what it's going to take to stop the 1% from laughing at us, because that's what they're doing by shutting it all down. That's the only way. That's the only way it's ever going to happen. I'm not saying it can or it will happen, but that's the only way it ever would happen. We turned it into a negotiation. The 99% would form a union against the 1%. But see, the media is busy right now. They're busy making sure it's black versus white. They're busy making sure it's gay versus straight, left versus right, liberal versus conservative. Anything they can come up with to cause strife, they're fuel to the fire. That's what they are. Because the minute we stop fighting with each other and turn our attention to them, and we realize that there's just a few of them and there's millions of us, that the police forces aren't going to be able to stop them. But it's only when the American people rise up. Or do we accept the oligarchy? Do we all go sit back in front of our TV sets? TV. Become a zombie. People worry about the zombie apocalypse. It's already happening. Because that's what people are becoming. Mindless. Critical thinking. Crazy. Don't talk about chemtrails in the sky. People will think you're crazy. Well, shit, I've been watching the sky since I was a kid. I've always been a sky watcher. There's some crazy crap happening in the clouds and in the skies. Started happening when my son was a little kid. Something around the late 90s, I started noticing it in the skies above Chicago. A plane just driving back and forth, putting lines in the sky. It wasn't normal. I know which way the planes fly to Midway, airports. I grew up there. I watched the skies. Been watching them all along. They're spraying something. There's all kinds of crap on the internet. You can read about the theories of poisons in the air. There's no telling. I'm more inclined to believe that they're trying to shade the sun. They feel they can block rays of the sun and slow down global warming. And I've read it was funded by Bill Gates. I'm not saying that's the truth. Just saying I've read that. But people don't want to hear it. They're too busy looking down at their phone to look up at the sky. Spend an afternoon fishing. Find a nice fishing spot. Sit down until you pull in the water, take you some beer, and watch the sky all day. Watch what happens to it over the course of a day. Find you a nice big open spot. And you'll be amazed at what they're spraying in the skies up there. Planes are crisscrossing, and it's ridiculous. They're putting a grid almost in the sky at times. Not normal, not condensation. Condensation would dissipate almost within seconds of leaving the plane. But nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to pay attention. Somebody's got to wake us up. See the Black Lives Matter protesters shut down a freeway? Imagine if we did that all over the country. Shut down freeways all over the country. And airports would be a piece of cake. And we kept doing that every day, every day, every day. 1% would start to hurt. We'd say, listen, we're going to keep doing this every day until you pull Hillary Clinton, arrest Hillary Clinton, and either decertify the election, which has been suggested by Election Justice USA, by the way. 100-page report. The most thorough report done by anybody. Now, these guys were involved with the elections in Ohio that were stolen from Gore and Kerry. But people just aren't paying attention.
Hey, Larry. I wanted to play a couple clips just to piggyback off what you're saying, because everything you're saying is right. I just want to play a couple clips just to back you up. Like, for starters, with the Sanders situation, I want to just play this clip and just listen to him from April 25th. Here's a clip real quick.
So first, I'd want to say, as a student, I'm very excited to be voting for the first time tomorrow for you. So thank you. My question is, many of your supporters are staunchly opposed to Hillary Clinton and are considering writing you in, voting for a third-party candidate, or not voting at all if you don't win the nomination. I believe you will win the nomination and the presidency, but if you don't, will you encourage your supporters to vote for Secretary Clinton?
Dave, thanks for the question, and let me answer it in this way. First, I think it is, we're not a movement where I can snap my fingers and say to you or to anybody else what you should do, because you won't listen to me. You shouldn't. You'll make these decisions yourself. I think if we end up losing, and I hope we do not, and if Secretary Clinton wins, it is incumbent upon her to tell millions of people who right now do not believe in establishment politics or establishment economics, who have serious misgivings about a candidate who has received millions of dollars from Wall Street and other special interests. She has got to go out to you and to millions of other people and say, yeah, I think the United States should join the rest of the industrialized world and take on the private insurance companies and the greed of the drug companies and pass a Medicare for all. I think that, says Secretary Clinton, that for the young people in this country, you should not have to leave college $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt, because we're going to make, as many other countries around the world do, public colleges and universities tuition free. I think Secretary Clinton is going to have to explain to millions of young people and a lot of other people that climate change is a real crisis, and incrementalism is just not going to solve it. And she is going to have to come on board and say, yeah, I know it's hard, but I am going to take on the fossil fuel industry and pass a carbon tax. So the point that I am making is it is incumbent upon Secretary Clinton to reach out not only to my supporters, but to all of the American people with an agenda that they believe will represent the interest of working families, lower income people, the middle class, those of us who are concerned about the environment and not just big money interests. We're not a movement where I can snap my fingers and say to you or to anybody else what you should do, because you won't listen to me. You shouldn't. You'll make these decisions yourself. We're not a movement where I can snap my fingers and say to you or to anybody else what you should do, because you won't listen to me. You shouldn't. You'll make these decisions yourself.
Okay, that's the clip. But go ahead if you wanted to comment on it. Then I got another clip for your to back up what you were saying about the 1%. It's a few of them and a million of us. And I got a clip. Actually, it's a cartoon, The Bug's Life, and it actually tells you. But if you could, can you speak to that clip? And go ahead.
The clip that just played, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Bernie Sanders has been against everything that Hillary Clinton stands for. Everything. He knew back in April that she was cheating. I'm thinking he knew the day was going to come when he was going to have to endorse her. He didn't want us to. But he promised us a fight to the convention. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks before then, he flip-flops 180 degrees and decides to endorse that woman. It just so happened to be right after Seth Rich was murdered. So anybody out there that's listening, that's considering voting for Hillary Clinton just because Bernie Sanders says so, I implore you, listen to that clip again. What has Hillary Clinton done to earn your vote? She sure hasn't done anything to earn my vote. But, you know, for a lot of people, just the simple fact that she's running as a Democrat, or because she's a woman, really? I mean, my wife's a Democrat and a woman, but I sure in the hell wouldn't vote for her for president. I don't know how I said that. I suppose if she was running, I would, because, you know, then I could run things from, like, you know, from the background. I give you, like, a secret government then.
Kind of how what Bill's probably trying to do. You never know.
Right. Trying. I'm thinking he's going right back in charge. Now, he's the one that met with Loretta Lynch and Hillary. And Bill's the one with the little book. He's got all them perverts sleeping with little kids on video. I'm telling you right now, he had that Lolita Express, and him and that buddy of his, man, they were bringing their friends, and I guarantee you they were recording people for blackmail.
Yep.
They probably got half. Shame on me, half. I'll bet they got 3/4 of Washington, D.C. in their pocket.
Yep.
They're crooked politicians. It's all for the love of money. It's a shame that Bernie Sanders has been there that whole time fighting. I didn't even know his name. I didn't know who Bernie Sanders was back in the 80s. Shit, I was going to high school and having fun.
Right. Playing
Bernie
football.
Sanders, you know, yeah. Nintendo, just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I saw Mario Bros. Get played, I was amazed. I was hooked.
Me too. Me too.
But, you know, for anybody to say Bernie's is a sellout, they're just not looking at the facts. Like I was saying, I got sidetracked there. You know, he's been fighting for what's right for 30-plus years. That's why all these young kids fell in love with him, because he hasn't changed his story. And people are like, well, geez, can you change it up a little bit? You know, well, why change it? If you were right the first time you said something, why you got to change it? He was right then, he's right now. Well, he's not right at this very minute because, in my mind, he's speaking under duress. And Antoine just played a clip of him telling us to think for ourselves. Don't just listen to Bernie Sanders. Make her earn your vote. She hasn't done anything to earn my vote.
Mine either.
No. I mean, it's a shame that so many people vote for her just because she's blue. But blue doesn't really exist anymore.
Nope.
The Republicans have gone so far to the right that the Democrats can stand left of them and still be right of where Reagan was.
That's so true.
It's
sad,
ridiculous.
but true.
How the goalposts have shifted so far.
Oh crap, man! That's a good analogy.
You know, we had it brought back, but they stole it, and we're letting them. Not we let them. We're in the process of letting them. She hasn't been elected yet.
That's true. We need to occupy the debates. We need to speak out against the debates. We need to just keep screaming. Top of our lungs.
Was that September 26th, first debate?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and where's it at?
It's
wherever it is, if Jill Stein's not up there need to be thousands of people outside screaming.
Yep.
That they probably won't put on the news.
Right.
We're used to that.
Check out this next clip. It's actually speaking to what you're saying right now. This is from A Bug's Life. This is from a cartoon, but it speaks volumes. Check it out.
Guys, order another round because we're staying here. Yeah. What was I thinking going back to Ant Island? I mean, we just got here, and we have more than enough food to get us through the winter, right? Why go back? But there was that ant that stood up to me.
Yeah, but we can forget about him.
Yeah, it was just one ant. Ooh, one ant.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one ant.
Yeah, boy, they're puny.
Puny? Say, let's pretend this brain is a puny little ant. Did that hurt?
Nope.
Well, how about this one? Are you kidding? How about this? You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
He's quite the motivational speaker, isn't he? Let's ride!
That speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, you know, it brings back a lot of memories for me, too, because that's one of the video games my son used to have me play when he was little. Was Bug's Life. I played a lot of Bug's Life. Yeah. But absolutely, you know, and that's what the media is doing right now. That's part of their goal, is to keep the division going strong. They don't want the map to go too red. They don't want it to go too blue. They want it to stay right in the middle. Keep that fight right there. That's nice. That's where they like it. They can keep bombing other countries, getting away with it. Over half our national budget goes towards the military. We spend more money on our military than the next 9 countries combined.
It's crazy.
That's ridiculous. You know, and I hear people talking about, oh, well, we have to have the military. What about all those people? What about all those jobs? Well, we're gonna have to do something. We can't just keep bombing. We'll run out of people to bomb eventually. Then what will their jobs be? Or we bomb at just the same rate of, you know, of their being able to resupply the people. We just got to, you know, bomb them at just the right amount, you know, per year. Keep it coinciding with the birth rates. At some point, you know, it just has to stop. We have to be the ones to stop it. Like you said, we do have to occupy. We got to occupy this whole country. We got to get tired of it. But people are too busy. How are you going to convince people to quit being so busy? Pay attention to what's going on. Care about what's about to happen to their children and their grandchildren.
You know, if the people, everybody just quit working just one day and just everybody in the whole country didn't go to work, you know how devastating that would be to our economy? And that would definitely wake their ass up from that point.
Right. It's like a heart attack. This country needs one.